Hello all, I'm Sheikh Khader. I have 16 years of experience with product development. I have used agile methodologies. I'm also a certified PMI project manager and safe product manager. This video is for those who wants to take a career transition into Scrum Master role, or you just got into Scrum Master role and you want to be really successful in this role. So any role for that matter, the organization will have certain objective for that role. So if you understand the objective of that role, then you can derive the roles and responsibilities of that role, and you can also derive the skills required for that role. Let's get started with today's topic, which is the Scrum Master. So today we are going to learn three things about Scrum Master, which is objective of this role, and what are the skills required for this role, and what are the responsibilities of this role. To understand this better, we have to understand where does the Scrum Master fits in. Okay, let's take an example of rock and roll music app. Consider this app is in the Play Store and App Store, and there are users who are actually loving it. And this app has a product manager associated with it, and this guy has magically come up with some idea saying that okay, we have a genre called as folk songs, and consider let's implement this feature. So that's when the development team comes into picture. So he approached the development team and told that okay, let's implement this feature. So now it is the responsibility of the Scrum Master who is organizing the team to deliver this feature in the most efficient and productive way. So that is the role where she fits in. There are majorly four responsibilities associated with the Scrum Master role. The first responsibility is setting realistic goals. The second responsibility is maintaining focus. And the third responsibility is spotting risks and identifying dependencies. And the fourth responsibility is leading retrospective and improving the process. So let's get into each and every responsibility and understand it further. So let's understand about setting the realistic goals. So from an organization point of view, the important thing that is expected out of team is predictability. So if your goals that you are setting in an iterative process of development is not realistic, then you're not going to achieve those goals. So it is your responsibility as a Scrum Master to set goals in a very realistic manner. So the estimations has to be correct, and maybe there may be 10% deviation, but more or less it is correct. And you know the velocity of the team, which is nothing but how much team can deliver, and you take in this iterative process of sprints, which is of 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month. You are going to take exactly the amount of work that the team is capable of delivering. So by this, what is that value that you are going to add is having the predictability. So the organization can depend on this team and say, like, if they have committed to this task, they can, and they have told that this is will be delivered in that point of time, then it is going to come out. So there can be deviations in unforeseen situations, but generally the predictability is at 90%, 99% or something like that. So this is something that you have to maintain. That's why it is really important to set the realistic goal. The second responsibility is maintaining focus of the team. So the team members may get distracted when the other teams are coming to them and asking for an ad hoc thing to do. So hence, in that at this point of time, you should stop it. So if you make your team focus, then only you can deliver the output. So if they are getting distracted more often by these ad hoc requests, then it is definitely going to impact your delivery. So hence your responsibility is to stop such requests and plan these requests in upcoming sprints or whenever it is possible where it can be accommodated. So how can you avoid it is by telling the other teams to channel the requests through you so that you can accommodate team members in appropriate time. So if it is the main responsibility of you, because if team gets distracted, their output of that sprint or that iteration gets impacted. So you don't want to do that, right? So hence you are going to tell other teams that if you do have any requests, then please channel through me so that I can take the responsible person from my team to do the task at the right point of time. Please let me know your views on this approach. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Third major responsibility of Scrum Master is spotting the risks and dependencies. So if you see here, any feature will have some sorts of risks. So then you are going to spot those risks along with the team, and you have to predict these risks, and then you are going to mitigate this risk or manage this risk along with the stakeholders. So if there are any dependencies which are on other team, you are going to talk to them and get their dependencies resolved at the earliest possible so that team can deliver the task. So before getting into any of the iterations, you have to manage these dependencies and mitigate the risks so that the iteration is not impacted. So you have to be clear about the iteration, that yes, when you take any task into iteration, you are definite to get this delivered. That means the dependencies are all met and the risks are mitigated or managed. So if that is not done, then don't take the task into this sprint or iteration. Fourth major important responsibility of Scrum Master is leading the retrospective and improving the process. So what does that mean? You are going to lead the retrospective and you are going to ask two questions: what have we done well in the last iteration, and what could have been done better? So definitely what have been done well is why, because if something is done well, that means the process is working. The second thing is, if what could have been done better, if you understand that there is a scope of improvement of the process. Understand one thing, that you can never fix people, you can only fix processes. So it is important to fix the processes to have the output really valuable, and the delivery is faster, and the quality is met. So let's understand the four major skills required by Scrum Master to achieve the objective of the role and to perform the roles and responsibilities very effectively. The first one is servant leadership, and the second one is coaching, and third one is organizing, fourth one is active listening. What is servant leadership? Servant leadership and the relationship of servant leadership with Scrum Master is important, because Scrum Master doesn't have any power on the team. So there is absolutely no power. So, but it is expected that you deliver output and organize team. How can you do that? So you should act as a facilitator for the team, and you are actually trying to lead team as a facilitator. To organize the team better, you have to understand needs of the team. You have to enable them to be successful, and you have to create an collaborative environment where people can come and talk to each other, and they take help from each other, and they deliver whatever has been asked to them to deliver in a more efficient way. So these are the leadership skills that is required by you, because you have no power on the team whatsoever. So you are going to play a servant leadership role in this uh, Scrum Master role, and you are going to organize the team. As a servant leader or facilitator, sometimes you may have to organize meetings, and you have to talk to few people, stakeholders, and get the answers for the team. And you go out of the box and try to help team member with a specific request, or hardware, or software, or anything that actually impacts his productivity. The second major skill required by Scrum Master is coaching. You should be able to coach the team in such a way that they deliver output faster, and they are also confident while they are delivering. Take an example where I was actually moving from a lead role to architect, and every meeting I go, I was not so prepared, right? So this is a transition that happened to me, where first time I am handling too many tasks, and I'm getting into too many meetings. So that's when my Scrum Master came to me and said, Hadar, what you can do is you look into your calendar at the beginning of the week, and organize yourself, prepare yourself for the meetings. So this is an uh, important advice that I have got from my Scrum Master. So this is how I got help from her, where I can actually plan things better. So I'm following that advice even today, and that's the way Scrum Master helps the team. Whenever you feel that this guy needs some help, or this team needs some help, give some advice, and put them into track. So coaching is an important thing which is essential for the team when they're out of track or when they need some help. So people may not ask for guidance, team may not ask for guidance, but it is your responsibility to guide them. So if they are not doing things right, so go to them, understand their difficulty, and you try to advise them and advise them to overcome the difficulty. The third major skill is organizing. Think yourself as an event manager, right? So there is a feature coming in and you have to deliver this. So it's a small project, so every iteration is kind of a small project, right? So you have to organize things in such a way that you know the sequence of things and it is happening exactly the same way. So you have to plan and you have to monitor and you have to control so that the things are actually happening in the right time at the right quality, so that the delivery is not missed. The fourth major skill required by Scrum Master is active listening. So active listening is anyways, everybody is listening, right? So you're sitting in a meeting and you're talking to people and you're listening, but what is active listening? So most of the time it is the team who is actually talking and the Scrum Master is supposed to listen. So you are a facilitator. So until unless you observe what is happening around, you cannot facilitate them. So it is very important to listen carefully and understand the motive behind whatever discussion is happening. And if there is any problem, then think about the problem solution, and then you can only advise them that this could be a problem solution. But they are actually, the team members are experts in doing what they are doing, right? So you are not supposed to meddle with that, but actually you are supposed to be an outsider. You are actually trying to facilitate them, hence you have to keep listening to them, and wherever it is possible you can add value to their discussion. But most of the time it's a facilitator job, right? So you are going to facilitate them, and whenever they are going in a wrong track, maybe you can put them back as a shepherd. But you cannot actually get into their day-to-day life and micromanage them. So that is not what is required or what is expected from this role. So what will be the key takeaways from, if I have to go in order, so it is objective, responsibilities, and skills. So for any career transition, the first thing that you should know is what is the organization's expectation out of this role. That is nothing but objective. So if you understand this sequence and you put it into any role, be it project manager, product manager, or CEO, right? So organization has certain expectations from you, and that expectation is nothing but objective. That objective can be achieved through certain tasks, which is nothing but roles and responsibilities, and roles and responsibilities is achievable through certain skills. Please let me know your views on this approach. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe.